Now, where the Public Works Minister Dean Macpherson is pushing for the completion of the Sarah Baartman Remembrance Centre in Hankey. The 200 million rand centre was launched more than a decade ago, still unfinished. A new specialised unit will now take over the project, along with other key infrastructure developments in the province. Newzroom Afrika's Sipa Kema joins us now from Hankey. Sipa, good morning to you. This project should have been completed years ago. What is the Minister promising now?
Absolutely, Stephen. Over 10 years ago, this project has actually been stagnant, standing still. Now, the minister has been doing oversight on the two areas for the Remembrance Centre. There's the one side and the other side on the right. That's called the sundial side. Now, if you remember, just to give us the importance, let's just move in closer, Stephen, to the minister there. Now, just to give you the relevance, or rather importance, behind why this should be completed. As if you remember, Sarah Baartman's story is quite a tragic historical story where she was human trafficked from South Africa here in Hankey, where she was born, and then later on moved to Europe in the 1800s, only for her body to eventually be dissected. Of course, before that, she went through a string of humiliating things there in Europe. And then after, Stephen, her body was repatriated to South Africa here in Hankey only in 2002. Since the 1800s, she had been in Europe, and this is where she is buried. And you would know that this would be quite important to the people, the Khoisan people. So that is the reason why we are here today. This is where where her remains are buried, and we're going to bring in now the Minister for Public Works and Infrastructure, Stephen. Now, Minister, I mean, before we get into today or where we are in Hankey, but the overall reason for your visit is that there's been a task team that has been deployed to the Eastern Cape to look at all the stalled and stagnant projects that have not been completed, standing still for years.
There's actually 32 projects nationally that we're going to be reviving under the Special Projects Delivery Unit that's been established in the department. This is a ministerial intervention, because what we found is that too many buildings and too many projects just stall and never get completed. And so we thought that it would be fitting to launch that here at the Sarah Baartman Centre for Remembrance, which has been going for 10 years and is still not completed. What we find is that officials and contractors are able to use the names of important South Africans like Sarah Baartman to get away with corruption and maladministration in these contracts. And so it is disturbing what has taken place. It's disturbing that this has gone on for so long. In fact, it is an assault on the legacy of someone like Sarah Baartman, and that this has just gone on for the period of time that it is. So we've taken 32 projects, from this one to courts, to prisons, community centres, any other projects that have been delegated to Public Works. These are going to be turbocharged and completed within the next 12 months or so. We have a panel of contractors that we have appointed. They are highly specialised and capable, so they'll be able to get the job on time, done on time and on budget.
And a quick one, Minister. Now, of course, monies have already been spent, apart from the intervention now from the department, the national office. What is the department going to do regarding accountability then for those monies? Like, what happened to them as well?
Well, if they have stolen money or misappropriated money, it's not just that they're banned from doing business with us, they're going to go to jail. And that is my message, is that we must track them down, we must hunt them down, because what they do is they just change the name of their business, but the directors remain the same. I came across a disturbing statistic that we have only banned one contractor since 2002. We are now speeding that up to ban 40. That's what is before us at the moment. We cannot allow people to use the name of Sarah Baartman to rip off the state and to line their own pockets. That's what's happened here. And so I'm very hands-on these 32 projects. We're going to complete them. We're going to return them back to the public so the public can learn, public can use, and the public can benefit from the assets that belong to them.
All right, thank you so much, Stephen. That is the Minister for Public Works and Infrastructure launching, of course, that task team that will be taking over those projects that have stalled. He mentioned that 32 projects that he's counted that will be taken over by this task team, such as the project here that was valued over just over 200 million, Stephen, if you can imagine. And it has been laying here incomplete for over a decade. And now finally, it will see some life and light to it. Now, just before that happens, we're going to show you some visuals. A traditional sand ceremony needs to be done. As you know, that as we mentioned, that her remains are here, just as we about to go inside to where Sarah Baartman is laid to a final resting place.
Sipho Kema, thank you very much indeed for that update. Very interesting story with many twists and turns.